if you would like to hear the gentle mic brushing. Alright, let's get right into tonight's case. This is the very, very, very tragic case of the murder of Anna Kriégel. It happened in Ireland in 2018. So let's go ahead and learn more about this case. Anna was born on February 18th, 2004 in Russia. She was named Anastasia. Anna is short for Anastasia. She was placed in an orphanage there, and in August of 2006, when Anna was 2, she was adopted by a lovely couple, Patrick, who was French-born, and his wife, Geraldine, who was Irish-born. And they both resided in Ireland, near Dublin, in an area known as Lucan. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Maybe it's Lucan. Forgive me. So, they adopted her and brought her back to Ireland to live. And they made it their business to keep her aware of her Russian heritage. That's why they kept her name, and she was already 2, so I think that's probably the right thing to do. And they always taught her about her background and also educated her on their Irish roots as well, and I guess on the father's French roots. And they were a very loving family. The mother, Geraldine, she worked as a manager of the legal department of the state public transportation company, and the father taught French at the Dublin Institute of Technology. Now, Anna grew up to be a lovely, spirited, energetic girl. She was athletic, she loved singing and dancing, and she was also quite sensitive. Now, unfortunately, she had some medical problems. She developed a tumor near her left ear, and when they removed it, she lost most of her hearing in that ear. She also had vision problems, and when she got towards adolescence, she developed a condition where she got home, she was very upset, as you can imagine, and her mother reported it to the police. The boy who had slapped her, he got a warning. Anna painted a black eye on herself and wound up getting suspended for it. Her mother felt that this was just an expression of Anna's internal pain. Anna had even opened up some fake social media accounts just so she could bully herself on them, or send herself messages from those accounts, to her actual account. So her mother, when she figured this out, she demanded access to all of Anna's accounts. So she had all the passwords and was able to monitor her daughter. Anna also had a YouTube account that she really loved. She had 100 subscribers, and the account was mostly about makeup, clothes, dancing, and she did get a lot of nice comments, but of course there were the mean ones from people who said things to her like, "Go die," or "We are going to execute you." Now, let's go to the date of the crime. It was May 14th, 2018, and Anna was 14 years old at this time. She went to school that day. After school, she went to counseling at 2:30, and then she went home. She called her mom, but her mother was in a meeting and sent her back a text saying, "I'm busy right now, I'll call you back." Then at 4:55, a boy came to the door, and the father was home. So he answered the door, and the boy asked for Anna. So the father went and got Anna, and she looked kind of surprised but excited, because she really didn't have any friends, so this was not a common occurrence. She went downstairs, she spoke to the boy. The father didn't hear what they said. And then she happily told her dad that she was going out with the boy and would be back soon. And they left. But then the father thought, wait a minute, where are they going? So he ran outside, but they were already halfway down the street. He noticed that the boy was walking ahead of Anna, and they weren't talking at all, and they were headed toward St. Catherine's Park. So he went back inside. Then the mother got home around 5 or so, and she asked, "Where is Anna?" crimes. So he is boy B. Okay. Which suggests there will be a boy A in the story. We'll get there. So, he told the police that he doesn't know where Anna is. He left her at the park around 5:40. So that was that. On May 15th, the police issued a press release asking the community to help them find Anna. And I noticed, I watched this press release. The police officer seemed so nice and soft-spoken, and the media were so gentle. They asked like one question, and then after that, one of them asked, "How is the family?" And they left it at that. And everyone in the community was trying as hard as they could to help find Anna. Now, they decided So it was time to go back to the boys again, now that they had found Anna's body. Now both boys were from respectable families, and neither one had any history of problems with the law. So that is something that made this even more inexplicable. So they searched boy A's phone, and they found some pretty disturbing things, such as a video called The 15 Most Gruesome Torture Methods in History, and something called Horror Films That Will Blow Everything Away, and Until Dawn, Get Jessica's Clothes Off. He had also done a search for abandoned places in Lucan. So a warrant was issued for the arrest of both boys. Now right off the bat, they were both asked certain questions to find out if they knew right from wrong, being that they were only 13. And they both did. They knew right from wrong. Now boy B continued to change his story over and over again, depending on what he was presented with by the police. And they were getting pretty annoyed with him, because some witness had come forward to say that they had seen boy B heading to the farmhouse. So boy B said, "Alright, yes, I went there, but I did not go inside. And I heard her scream, so I took off. And I knew she would be okay, because she was with boy A, and he would take care of her." So the police officer accused him of making it up as he went along. Now, boy A, when he was questioned, pretty much all he said was no comment or I don't know. So he wasn't giving anything away. But they got a warrant to search his home, and they found 2 mobile phones in his room that had 12,500 images of porn. A lot of it was violent. Some of it was horse related, and some child. So that was extremely disturbing to find. They also found he had watched something called Russian Teenagers and another movie about a girl named Anastasia. They also found a backpack with gloves, a homemade mask, knee pads, and shin guards, and there was blood all over this stuff. Anna's blood. They also came to find that his shoes had Anna's blood on them. And the semen on the shirt was his DNA. So he was charged with murder and sexual assault. Now back to boy B. Ultimately, as they continued to question him and present him with more and more evidence, he admitted that he was there in but it was found that he had PTSD from having seen this event. Now, he told the story that about a month before, boy A said to him, "Hey, do you want to kill someone with me?" And he was like, "No." And he's like, "Who were you thinking of killing?" And boy A said, "Kriégel." And he was like, "In your dreams." So he never believed that boy A was ever going to actually do it. But yet he did. historian. He kept changing his story over and over again, which makes him look pretty guilty. But I really don't know. And I'm very curious to hear what you think, which way you think it goes. Other than that question, I mean, I am astounded by the horrific things that 13-year-olds are capable of. Because we really do not expect that at all. 13 is a child. Their first year of being a teenager. It's just, you expect them to be still sitting around playing games, you know, wholesome activities, not having gotten into any of the, bad stuff yet. Plus, these kids came from good backgrounds and they had no history of acting out, so it's just so crazy. Anyway, that's about all I want to say about this case, other than the fact that my heart goes out to the family of Anna and to Anna herself. She was having such a rough life as it was, and then this had to happen. I mean, she started out with a rough life from day one. Born in Russia, brought up for 2 years in an orphanage, and that couldn't have been very good. Then she finally gets adopted by a lovely family. But she had all these health issues and emotional issues, and she was bullied relentlessly. And then these horrible boys, well, you know